Okay, so glad. Happy fall. Happy fall. I have white pants on after Labor Day, so I'm breaking the rules. Just saying.
Oh my God, Shannon. Looking good, girl.
All right, guys. So we have a couple of special guests with us today, or will be with us today, but let's start off with talking about something good. Who had something good to share? Okay, then. Okay, Adrian, save the day.
We opened escrow for our 1031 exchange fires, and it's been hell, but 32 houses. But we actually had, out of 3 offers we wrote, we had 2 accepted, so we're doing pretty good.
Fantastic. Fantastic. And that came from Floor Time. And I know Victoria's gotten some stuff off of Floor, not been super successful yet, but some things have. So I'm happy that some things are coming around. And being like frustrated, like I hear Adrian is, it is really rough. I'm supposed to be talking about something good, but since we don't have a whole lot to say, let's talk about how it really is out there. Like, it's not easy for buyers right now. They're not having a good time. Even sellers have it a little bit rough right now because buyers are writing multiple offers and they're backing out. And so sellers are getting a little frustrated. And so it's really a tough market, and you'll definitely see that there's some changes with the inventory levels. We know we're already at record low. You'll hear those in a little bit, but I want to introduce our special guest, Tiffany. And so Tiffany, I'm going to have you come over and be in front of the camera because the others are up there. And so Tiffany's with Dedicated Credit Repair. She's got some news on
all the things right now.
Credit safety. Let me get out of the way.
Okay.
Take it over.
Thanks for having me. I won't tell you what I accidentally did on the way over here. Went to the wrong office. I was like, so I'm going to tell on myself because it's total Tiffany moment here. So I'm just in autopilot, trying to multitask, doing all the things, and mom things, wife things, driving things. And in my brain, I still have you in my brain, a century 20, just in my, and sorry, don't be mad.
At the old office?
Yes. I walk in, I'm like, something tells me something. I just walked in and Felipe was like, hey girl, I'm about to start my meeting. And I was like, you think you want to come in? And of course I would normally say yes. I'm like, no, I just want to say hi. I got back in the car. I'm like, I am special. I am so special. Okay. So anyways, that's my morning. And I've
never been with Felipe's office. So
I know, but that particular location, I thought Century 21, I know right where I'm going. So the fact that I even kind of made it on time is a little bit awesome. Okay. So for those of you who don't know me, I feel like I know most of you, but my name is Tiffany Cross. I am the owner of Dedicated Credit Repair. Hi to all of you online. It's good to see you or see your faces. We have been in the Valley now 16 years. So I always like to mention that we are your homegrown credit repair company now for, gosh, it's almost 17 years now. I'm having to keep up with the Botox to make it not seem like that. But anyways, I'm getting worse and worse.
Brutally honest.
I am so honest. But all of that being said, we are one of the few credit repair companies in the entire state of California that's legally allowed to do credit repair. So it's not like you can just, send somebody to a guy at Starbucks and do all the things. I want to mention that to you because recently the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau walked right into the credit industry, frankly, most of the financial industry, but specifically the credit repair industry, and implemented the TSR, which I won't bore you with what that looks like yet, because frankly, we're learning. But the TSR is the telemarketing sales rule. And most credit repair companies, especially in California, are exiting because of it. So there are a lot. Yeah. So even though we charge in arrears, which is what we have to do legally, we charge an enrollment fee, which is totally allowed, but we can't say, here's, pay me $2,000 and I promise to work for you. Wink, wink. You can't do that. You have to have a program that you provide where you bill in arrears, meaning after the clients receive 30 days of service, if they are in fact getting results, they pay you, right? So it's a checks and balances that's so important. Well, now on top of that, the TSR says, yeah, no, we don't like that either now. We're going to tell you that if you conduct business over the phone, because we don't telemarket, we never have. All of our business comes from you guys. Instead of, if you transact over the phone, we have 12 months to become compliant, whereby the clients will pay into an escrow account. Okay, and then we don't get paid until 6 months after the credit repair's been performed and the client has to sign off on it. So it's imminent. It's not an option. Trust me, I had a little heart attack and did a lot of things. Because let's be honest, these clients don't really pay their bills. So to get paid 6 months later is very scary. So we're implementing that, but I just want you to know we're running towards compliance rather than circumventing it, because that's what a lot of people are doing is, well, how can I work around it? Can I just meet people in person? And so anyways, you have our commitment as always to stay so compliant. I don't even like to get close to the line where that's concerned. So that's coming. Okay, your clients are in a tremendous amount of change, not just in the credit world, but when COVID hit, and I keep saying post-COVID, we're not post-COVID, but the initial COVID moments, right, where all of us were told, go put your loan in forbearance, go do this and that, be proactive, don't wait. A lot of clients did that. A lot of clients didn't ask for it, especially with student loans, and they automatically went into forbearance. Some credit companies stopped reporting at all your positive payments. So scores are everywhere. You might see that TransUnion's an 800 and Equifax is a 650. We've never seen such a just crazy world of credit. So I want to let you know that we have been literally investing every last dollar into not only resources, but education, because there's so much bad information out there. So just want to let you know, if you have a client that was in forbearance or should be protected under the CARES Act because they did in fact get the proper documentation to substantiate that they were in fact in loan forbearance, we're seeing lots of 30-day late sit in the credit reports that we were hoping that wouldn't happen, and it's happening. So you have a resource. We absolutely can jump in and help you, but there's a lot of moving parts to this. It's very much an onion where once you pull apart each credit repair, or excuse me, credit report, you're finding it's not a one size fits all solution. So it's very important that you're not working with a company that just fires off blanket, you know, frankly, they're stupid, like just messages or whatever to the credit bureaus. Everything needs to be very much specific. So we have mastered that. We're having tremendous amount of success getting people through that little hiccup, because people are going into escrow. And then 30 days later, they're like, wait a minute, what happened to my 780? I'm a 580. Well, because miraculously, suddenly now things are reporting that weren't there when they first got pre-qualified. So definitely keep us in your back pocket for that. We have big outcomes with that. The other thing is, drum roll, because of COVID and creditors going, oh, this was awful for us because we don't have to get paid. People, you know, they created a new FICO score right in the middle of all the fun. They decided to come out with what we call the FICO score index. The FICO score index is overlaid on top of your FICO score. And that is a model that allows creditors to determine how likely you would survive an international pandemic. Right.
Like we're in it.
I know. So in other words, they're like, bummer, this is all in place. Now we want to overprotect. So what we're seeing is, by the way, that's a sliding scale from 0 to 99. Okay, it's a sliding scale from 0 to 99. Unlike the FICO score, the lower, the better. And they're grouped in categories. I think it's like 0 to 30 and then 35 to, so it goes all the way to 99. I looked at mine to see where I'm at. My FICO score, my actual FICO score is about an 820. Right now, 850 is perfect. I still have yet to see one. It's an 820, but my FICO score resilience index score was like 33. So it was the high end of good, meaning not good. You know, if you have to look at the good category, it would be like A- versus A+. Trying to figure out why. So just know that we are seeing that some lenders, mortgage lenders, are using it above and beyond the FICO score qualification. So that means that it's super important that when you're talking to clients and you're sitting down, whether it's a listing appointment or you're talking to potential prospective buyers, right away, God bless our mortgage lenders' hearts, but they don't even know about it yet. I'm literally getting hundreds of calls, a month about what do I do with this? So send them at the same time. Send them to us for a credit check. We're not going to pull credit, but we're going to coach them. And I'd like to talk to your lender too, because there is a lot of hiccups happening now where it's already tough to get your offer accepted. And then the lender's giving old school coaching on underwriting guidelines, which is bringing those scores down crazy right now. Underwriting guidelines and FICO score requirements don't play well in the sandbox together. Isn't that weird? You would think, oh, well, my lender would know because he or she is advising my client and he's correct, or she may be correct as far as what's allowable through underwriting. But when you tell clients, don't worry about charge-offs, don't worry about medical collections, bad wisdom, because those absolutely drop the scores, and now more than ever, they're dropping scores. Good news. I think you started out with tell me some good news.
Yes, please.
I know, please, baby Jesus, give me something good. What we do know is that now, right now that's trending, the collection companies are agreeing again for pay for deletions. That went away for a long time. Used to be you could call and say, will you, settle for, instead of $1,000 on my collection account, will you take 500 and delete it from my credit report? About 5-6 years ago, TransUnion, Experian, and Equifax were told, if we find out you're deleting for payment, we will no longer allow you to report your clients to us anymore. Well, clearly then that went away. Okay, so now they are agreeing to delete for payment. That's huge. We're able to circumvent all the waiting period that's required for that to report. Okay. Also, when the CARES Act was implemented, they being the government, allowed creditors 90 days to update your credit balances. You guys, that's a long time. So if you were told, I can rapid rescore this, pay off these 4 credit cards, you should be fine. The clients did that. It's not updating right now. It's not updating within the first 30 days. It's taking about 60 to 90 days for it to update. You want to know what's going to happen to your buyer? Do you think they're going to wait 90 days for your, so we're having a lot of fallout from that. So now more than ever, it's time to get in front of your people and say, listen, if you're even considering purchasing in the next 12 months, you need to get your credit looked at 6 months beforehand, okay? Because it's like joining a gym, right? People say, well, I want to lose 100 pounds by Sunday. Okay, that would be fun. I would too. That'd be great. It doesn't work that way. The FICO score doesn't change daily. It changes every 45 business days, which is almost 6 weeks. So you have to allow it to work. It works. And I like to tell my clients very pointedly, frankly, listen, you took 5 years thrashing your credit, right? So your 2 choices are either you wait 7 years for it to organically fall off and be repaired, or you don't freak out when you hear 5 to 6 months, because that's really fast considering most of your clients that are coming to me need 200 points. 200 points is not easy to do. It can be done, and it's absolutely realistic to say 6 months, but to say 6 weeks is not going to happen. And that's, believe it or not, the expectation of the clients I'm getting right now. They're getting evicted, right? Many of them had consultations 24 months ago, 12 months ago, didn't do anything, decided to wait. And now they have 90 days to find a new house because the owners are selling. That is happening all over the nation right now. So whatever marketing you can do to just encourage proactiveness, obviously that's just good in general, but on Facebook, on your Instagram, if you're using TikTok, please show me how, because I'm missing a whole market right there. But whatever you're doing, be consistent, constantly preach the message of don't wait until it's an absolute disaster to start working on your credit, or even if it's not credit related, preparing to purchase can take some time. So that's really what I wanted to come in and share. Also, I have spent almost all of my retirement to create I'm kidding, kind of. If you go onto my website, dcrusa.com, I get asked literally moment by moment, do you have credit tips or do you have any content that I could share? Yes, please steal it. Please reference us or share it from our page. But if you go to my either my Facebook page, but mostly our website, which is dcrusa.com, click on credit tips. There's so many good ones, and they're all, I do about 2 a month, and I made sure to clean out the ones that weren't relevant anymore. So there's like about 2 years of content on there. When we post it off of our onto our Facebook page, we get private message, maybe 5 people, just consumers that see it. They're like, okay, I need to get. Great way to fill your pipeline right now with people. So instead of the idea of, I don't want to work with credit challenge, but people, yes, you do, because they're not necessarily what you would imagine them to be. A lot of people went through divorce during pandemic. A lot of people lost jobs during the pandemic. A lot of people co-signed a couple years ago for someone else, and then that person stopped working. So there's a lot of reasons why someone would need credit repair other than it's a character flaw. Okay, so just keep that in mind. We want to be your resource. I'm so appreciative that we are. And in most cases, you're never going to get an untrue answer from us. Sometimes people are not ready for credit repair. They're still having the financial hardship, which means they have 30-day lates happening. It's kind of like shooting yourself in the foot while you're trying to run a race. It needs to be that your last 30-day late was about 6 to 12 months ago, so that it's plastic surgery rather than a Band-Aid on a gunshot wound. You know, we want to make it a real solution. Other things that we're now offering, which is huge for a lot of my real estate clients, if you have tenants or you're trying to find a tenant for someone, we have rent reporting that we're now adding to credit reports. It took me about a year to use it because I wasn't loving some of the products that were out there. We now found one that I love. It's right on my website. Go to dcrusa.com. A client can immediately begin reporting their rent, and it goes 2 years back. Most rental reporting starts the day that you sign up. From that moment forward, they start reporting your rent. Well, part of this, the calculation of the FICO score is your history of accounts. So if I can get it to report 2 years prior, you get a bigger bang for the buck in the score. Okay. So we do have that right on our website. Also, if you have somebody that is, trying to make certain that they themselves would be a good tenant now, we have what we call letter of participation that we can provide. We require that the client sign up, be in the program for anywhere from 90 days to 6 months, and that every month we would be able to provide a letter of participation to the owner of the home. And the reason why that's relevant is for obvious reasons. A lot of people just decided to not pay their rent and they were told that's okay, right? So now it's kind of scary as you're trying to fill those, homes to know, okay, this is a proactive client. They're investing in their credit. They're actively participating, and we are providing that, not just for that circumstance, but also employment and things like that. And then lastly, we have some credit sources. So if in fact a client's credit file is thin, whether it's a young person that's starting out or somebody that went through a divorce and whatever happened and they don't have the credit cards they used to have, because we all need to have 3 to 5 actively used, not sitting in our wallet with 0 balances. We can help them establish that. We do that at month 1 of the program. So 35 days into the program, we immediately start adding what we call trade lines to build 30% of the score. So it's very much a process. The FICO score is designed in a kind of a game format with timing. It's very important that clients aren't going rogue, paying off car payments and things like that, or paying off the car, for example, because they were told their debt to income ratio is off. Worst thing to do would be to pay off a car. Your scores tank 100 points. Instead, you need to be told which credit cards, which are revolving accounts, to pay down in what order. So again, you can do it wrong. And that's the sad thing about credit. You Google it, you're going to find a million different answers. So, and then also too, we offer credit monitoring now. So if anybody comes to me wanting to know what their credit report looks like or anything like that, I require now that all my clients be in credit monitoring so we can have real life updates, because there's too many things changing too fast. And unfortunately, clients will do something and then 60 days later, it'll pop on their credit report. We want to see it real time so we can be a solution. Okay, so that's a lot to share.
All right. I have a question for
Yeah.
you. I think it's my mom has like her credit report on lockdown. Is that something that you recommend?
No. The credit freeze is a big disaster. When you put a credit freeze on your credit, initially it's no problem. And then the very first credit pull that you do, you'll get a credit report. Like a lender will be able to pull that credit, but it's that event that triggers the freeze. So you're not aware because you just got a credit report and you got pre-qualified, right? Well, it triggered the freeze that you placed 6 months ago or a year ago. At that point, you then have to send notarized to the credit bureaus, get everything notarized to get it removed. And then you want proper documentation. Does your driver's license expired? Does it match what we have on record? Oh, it doesn't. Okay. Again, another thing that could cause an escrow disaster. So freezing, not a good idea. That's like putting your social security number in prison. Not good. Instead, monitor your credit. The resources that we have, and frankly, most monitoring are good. But ours is, I think, the best one that I vetted. But you'll get real-time alerts anyways. So if somebody ran your credit, you're going to know that very second. Okay. That's a really good question. That happens all the time.
Yeah.
All the
That's
time.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
Do you have any consultation about student loans? Like, are they good to pay off at once? Or
No, they're not.
Okay.
Yeah.
just
So
like
especially if
monthly?
they're in deferment, don't touch them. They're kind of not a thing. Student loans don't do anything to help you. They only hurt you in terms of if you don't pay them, they damage your credit.
Right.
Paying them off because they're installment based. And frankly, a lot of loan programs don't consider them into your DTI. They're the last thing I'd be focusing on today.
Mhm.
Now, that is bad financial wisdom, right? I'm only teaching FICO score guidance, but financial coaching would say the opposite. Dave Ramsey is completely in disagreement, which I get why he would be, but he's also not trying to get people qualified to buy homes. So getting out of debt is something we do after we buy our house. And then you transition from everything I'm telling you to a totally different roadmap, which we also then provide. That's awesome. That's a great question. If you have clients that need budgeting assistance, we also offer that too, because a lot of people that are not able to afford our enrollment fee, by the way, our fees had to go up. We had to, for the first time in 10 years, increased our pricing. So we're now normal. When I finally went to the table to figure out, we were literally half of what everyone else was charging. So our enrollment fee is now $299 to sign up. And it is $109 a month. It was $99 a month. The reason for the increase is because we now have to send every round of letters out certified. That is $40 a person. So I didn't even make profit on the increase. It's 100% just to keep the results happening. So every round has to go out certified so we can prove to the consumer and to us that the credit bureaus received the information. During COVID, the credit bureaus are currently being sued by every Secretary of State in every state. Huge warfare right now. And the reason for that is the credit, I should say this nicely, I'm going to change my verbiage, I'm online. The repositories are known for throwing them away in the trash instead of going, oh, they'll say, we never got anything. So that because they were understaffed and overwhelmed. So we said, no, that's not going to work for us. Yes, you did. Here's the proof. And by the way, now you're in violation of the FCRA, which means we can sue you. And we have attorneys that we immediately hand that off to who immediately litigate. Immediately, which is amazing. Yes. So anyhow, lots of changes. I expect to see that. I literally feel like we're jet skiing behind this industry right now with all the changes. I mean, just when we think we have it down, new change. So similar to you guys. I mean, I know that's happening in your world as well. So keep my information on standby. If you need me, I'm here. Our team's amazing. It's stronger than ever. And we are here for you guys. And if you have any questions, just shoot me a quick email. Yeah.
So I am marketing by email, but also on doors, and I want to come with valid information, not something that just goes down the kitchen, trash. Are we allowed to go in on your website, copy parts of it, and put it in a newsletter that comes from us?
As long as you give us, brand it, like co-brand it with a logo or something, then I would love that. Please do it.
All right.
It's very, very relevant.
Yeah.
And, door hangers, we used to do that years ago where, people would put door hangers in sideways, I don't know. It's a crazy trend. This is another crazy transition. 5, 6, 7 years ago, we all answered our phones.
Yeah.
We literally answered our phones, and PS, our voicemails were not full all the time, right? Because we checked our voicemails. I don't know what's happened, and I don't mean this in any way, but there is a certain age group that is now new and up and coming and doing all the things, and they don't check their voicemail. They don't even set their voicemail. They don't even answer their phone.
Or their voicemails are full.
And they do it on purpose because they don't want you to leave one.
Yes.
So now the new marketing is text messaging, right? So when we have a consultation that, by the way, someone could call and be like, yes, I want a 1 o'clock consultation. Okay, perfect. You just scheduled it an hour ago, right? I'll call them. They forget that they scheduled it an hour ago and they don't answer because my phone number is not in their phone.
Right.
So now we have to text them 5 minutes for the consultation. This is your team at Dedicated Credit Repair. A credit analyst will be calling you from this unrecognized number. Oh, I'm so glad you texted me. I wasn't going to answer. Okay, well, you're the one that needs credit repair, friend. I don't know what to tell you. So my point to that was I'm finding that there is a lot of value in phone number, texting, that kind of thing to kind of go a different route, because a lot of our old school drip campaigns through our CRMs, those now are captured mostly by spam. And nobody reads it. I will send an email that's this long to clients. Welcome aboard. Here's the next 5 things you need to do. And they'll reply back to it going, what do I do next? Did you read and I am taking out all the extra adjectives and anything that would make it long. So now it's video. And if you create a video and you short video of, hi, I'm in your neighborhood, blah, 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 whatever it is, use the new technology as it's come, because I have been the last one I don't like it. I can't stand it. I'm still a phone person. When you text me, I get annoyed because it takes me longer to text you back. And by the way, my voice text, I sound really awful. my verbiage and everything's wrong. So I'm a phone person, but I guess I'm the last one standing because nobody else answers the phone. So videos, if you ever want to do videos together, let me know. Door knocking, I would prefer I can definitely co-brand with you.
Okay, that'd be great because I'm one of those too.
I know.
If it doesn't catch me instantaneously, what it says, it goes directly in the trash,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
And so I'm rebranding myself, I'm trying to get out there and that would be perfect for people that are renting right now.
Yes.
That all of this information.
It's a hot topic. Renters are a big upcoming. I mean, it's been that way for a long time, but now it's really aggressive because people are renting that didn't necessarily need to be renting. And now they don't have a choice because the owners are selling. And that's a huge market for us right now. Yeah. And divorces. We've got a lot of divorces right now. So the life after divorce seminars and things like that we would, going and setting up something for individuals who are in the process of separating homes and things like that. It's a huge market that we're seeing too. Divorce attorneys, family law attorneys, I keep calling them divorce attorneys. Family law attorneys are a great resource to be connected with too right now.
Awesome.
Okay.
All right, so Tiffany, please leave us a stack of stuff.
Okay.
Because over time, as you come and visit and you leave your stuff, it all kind of gets
Good.
into the right hands.
I
And
like
all
it.
out of your stuff.
Okay. My new flyers with the pricing, I was kind of hesitant. I don't have them printed yet, but I will make sure that you get them. But I do have my most recent cards. And I put them back there. And if you need me, I'm just a phone call away. We are local and we can work in every state except for Georgia. Georgia outlawed credit repair. That was another fun thing that happened over the last 2 years.
All right, well, thank you
Okay,
very much.
bye, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for letting me come to the right office.
Thanks for remembering where I was.
Shannon.
All right, so let me get back to my agenda. All right. So does anybody
Shannon,
want to talk
just-
about, yes.
Just a quick question. How large is her staff and how much does she handle personally in terms of the clients that reach out?
I do about 90% of the consultations myself, especially right now. Although I do have assistants that do it, they've been with me for over a decade, that know everything I say times 10. But the work is performed by my team, which you would not want me doing the work. I can't even find your office right now. So, the work itself is, by the way, we have modules of training that every credit analyst has to complete. And in each module is 2 hours long and they have to renew them. So they do them every year and they're, new strategies, best case strategies that are vetted by the Department of Justice and they work. So it's 100% a team effort, but I do most of the consults right now.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. That was a good question, Cecily. All right, does anybody have any new listings coming soon that they want to pitch? Please, baby Jesus, let's have some new listings. We need them. Anybody? All right.
Thank you. So I have a question. So on where I live, there was a house for sale.
Mhm.
And all of a sudden the for sale sign was down, but it was not sold or anything like that. And so I was walking by and he was out in his car and I said, hey, did you sell your home? And he says, no, it didn't really work out. I said, oh, okay, I'm so sorry. I didn't want to belabor the part. So I saw what it was listed for, and it was probably listed way over
Mhm.
there. I'd like to approach him, but can we, and this is because of lack of knowledge, can we go in and see if it's canceled by the realtor, if he still has a contract with the realtor?
Okay, so the legal answer is you're not allowed to use the MLS to prospect for canceled, expired listings,
Okay.
but it's your neighbor.
It's my neighbor up the road.
So what I'm going to say is just check the MLS, see
Okay.
where it's at. And then go be neighborly and give them your
Yeah.
card.
Yeah, exactly.
Any other new listings or buyer needs out there?
Buyer needs, I have a buyer coming up, but I don't have a credit rating yet, so I can't even pitch that. But if anybody has, I'm thinking it's gonna be probably around 450 or less.
A buyer 450 or less.
Right.
Okay.
Areas, not particular. If it's a little bit of a fixer, not particular and stuff. She probably needs, she's got 5 kids. So probably needs more than like 1,700 square feet, or having a, a garage where they can convert something, or an ADU.
Okay.
I
Awesome.
have a
So
buyer need.
what's up, Linda?
I actually have a few, but I'm going to tell you the serious one is all cash. She wants either the Villages, Temecula Hills, or Chardonnay Hills. She wants that side of Rancho California, and we narrowed down to those neighborhoods. Single story. I don't even think square footage matters. I don't think price matters, believe it or not. She would like a pool, but could put one in. So if anyone has a single story coming up in those areas, that would be great. Let me know. All
Okay.
cash.
Wow. I mean, we don't even have listings to try to find for them. It's just a sad situation. Let's talk about the market update real quick. So in the last, so we didn't have a meeting last week, so I didn't track the numbers, but since our last meeting, new listings in the Temecula Valley went down to 171. We were at 215 pending, and those were brand new on the market, I should say. So pending, ours pretty much flat at 300. We, in the last 7 days, sold 210, which is slightly less than the last time we checked. We have 743 total actives in the Temecula Valley, our 6 areas that I track all the time. In Temecula only, single family residence for sale, 181, that's down. And the least amount of sale price, that doesn't make sense. The lowest sale price is 419,000. And on all of Riverside County, we have 2,875 single family available. And that's also down over 100 since the last time I checked. A new stat I decided to start tracking because we are all feeling the market a little bit starting to change, and we're just in our fall market. We normally don't have a lot of stuff. We start to see sellers not putting their homes on the markets and buyers not necessarily out there because the kids are in school and they don't want to move now. Now it's too late. But price changes. I thought let's start tracking those. So last week I took a look because I was just curious, and we had 95 price changes, not all down.
Right.
95% of them down. Some crazies are still up. And then this week we had 108. So the number of price changes are starting to increase. And so for your neighbor who had his too high, I mean, there's kind of the writing on the wall. I'm going to defer my update from the brown bag lunch and learn to maybe next week because we had Tiffany took up a bit of time there. But I do want to talk one more time about the RPA classes. The RPA class that's being taught tomorrow, I think it's online through CAR, $60. I said last time that, don't take any classes until after the forms committee meets in October, but I also want you to know that our attorney, Darren, is going to be teaching the new RPA class to all of our California agents. So again, I'm always about saving a buck. Let's just wait for Darren and have it be for free. It will be Zoom. There's no doubt about it. We've got 15 offices and he can't be every place. So he'll probably break into groups. It might end up being a regional type thing. So something to think about. I also want to, before I turn, we have our title time with Michelle. I just want to let you guys know, in case you haven't noticed it already, for those of you who do have listings and you're incoming soon status, the VAC now has the marketing pieces available for coming soon. Before we didn't, when we first started our VAC, all of the marketing was just active, period. And that's too hard. I mean, we're realtors. We market when it goes into escrow, we market when it's coming soon. So now we have the 3 statuses for, and it's sold. We have 4 statuses for you to market with through the VAC. So coming soon, active, pending, and closed for a short time. Those 4 statuses will be available for your listings to go ahead and market out to your CRM. So something to think about there.
Hey, Shannon.
Yeah.
Earlier this week, Joe was having trouble finding that form for the coming soon status for the MLS. I don't know if you want to find it.
So yeah, I talked 2 weeks ago about the coming soon form that's required. And we've been a little bit lax on that. The coming soon form is available through CRMLS. So before you actually click the button to log in, there is a compliance like bar across the bottom, and it is there.
It's also in SRCAR.
Yes, SRCAR resources. I don't think I emailed it out. If I did, it might be something just to keep handy, put it maybe
You
in,
did email it, didn't you?
did I? Yay, I did something. You know, maybe put it in your zip forms, because you can add any kind of documents to your zip forms, add it to your listing template. That way you don't forget. And it's really just an agreement between us as the broker and the seller. So it doesn't necessarily get filed with CRMLS, but we need to have it just in case they ding us, because the fines, as we went over, have been going up so high. There's so many $1,500 fines right now. Let's just try not to get ourselves in trouble. All right, so I'm going to turn the time over to Michelle for some little title time. We have, obviously Michelle's here in the office on a weekly basis, and it's always helpful. I learn new things from her all the time. This, some of the stuff I think Michelle's going to talk about today, I didn't know. Can you believe that? I don't know everything. Shut
I
up.
can't believe it.
Yeah.
You knew.
Come
you
on
just
over here.
lost it.
I just forgot it. Yes, it's been a long time. So
Good morning. How's everyone doing? I don't see a lot of smiling faces, but I'm sure you're happy at home if you're wearing your jammers and your slippers. I'm a little jealous. So I wanted to talk a little bit about, well, first off, I'm gonna tell you just two quick things that we're noticing a lot of, and I did talk to Shannon about it last week when I had come in. With COVID, we've kind of taken a couple steps back. So with the county, I believe that we have a lot of folks at the county level that are now working at home again. So we're seeing a lot of delays in getting confirmation for our closings. So it doesn't mean that there's a problem and that yours isn't going to go. It just means that you might not get confirmation until 7 o'clock at night. So just so you know, our title officer, Audrey, is at Landwood until that last file is confirmed. So there's no call forwarding with the county. We do everything electronically, so it all comes in electronically. So I have sent Audrey meals to be delivered to the office so that at least she's getting a nice warm meal while she's waiting. If I could send wine, she doesn't drink though, I'd send her a bottle of wine. So anyways, that is one issue that we're seeing. If you do have a late recording, you will get an email directly from the title unit saying you're confirmed. And then I will follow up with a phone call. So no worries, check your emails. You all should be getting those confirmations from the title unit directly. You get confirmation the same time escrow gets confirmation. So you guys are on that. Also goes hand in hand with recordings. And we haven't seen as much problems with wires as we are seeing again now. And I don't know if it's just because we were so close to 9/11 and they just kind of were really, the feds were really watching those wires. But anytime a wire goes through the Federal Reserve, the names attached to that wire are checked against the terrorist watch list. So I know it sounds like stringent. It has always been the case, especially after 9/11. But usually when the feds hold a wire, we usually don't know that it was even held because it's for a hot second. So, you know, maybe a few minutes or what have you. And I'm sure Holly Hobby and Charlie Brown are on the terrorist watch list. It's not just a particular name, it's common names, things like that. So we just need to have grace because again, you know, we had one last week, Friday, or it was supposed to record Friday. The hold on that wire was over 6 hours. So that took that recording from Friday to Monday. So I always say it's going to close when the good Lord wants it to and not a moment sooner, but that doesn't help when they're in the moving van waiting out front. I would be just as excited. So, you know, we totally get that. But there's no putting the fire under the Fed's rear. I mean, if we could, we would for sure. There's no way of doing that. So what happens is when we have the hold and it becomes something that's more than just a few minutes, our bank sends us the hold letter. And at that point in time, we go ahead and get the SI, the statement of information from the file, and we send it directly over. So then now they have not only a name attached to that wire, they have the social, driver's license, all of that kind of birth date, stuff like that. So we do what we can with our bank and the feds to go ahead and release that in a timely fashion. It just doesn't always happen that way. So just a heads up with that. So what we really wanted to talk about is power of attorneys. So power of attorneys, we see a lot of power of attorneys. Power of attorneys, I don't know if you folks know this, but you cannot use for title purposes, you cannot use a power of attorney for sheer convenience. There has to be a reason to use that power of attorney. So if we have someone that, you know, just maybe doesn't want to, if what we usually see is the kiddos of an elderly person wanting to take that burden off of their parent or loved one of signing all of the papers. So when that does happen and you do need to use that power of attorney, you can use the power of attorney to sign all the silly stuff. But from a title standpoint, if that person is able to sign, we want them to at least sign the recording documents. So Audrey, we've worked together for many, many years. We really need to be cautious with powers of attorney, especially here in California. So again, there needs to be a reason. If you want to take the burden, go ahead and do that on all of the escrow paperwork. But a live signature would be appropriate for the document. So that would only be one signature really. So we want to make sure that we are doing that. If there's any kind of mental incapacitation, things like that, we will need doctor's letters just for the doctors to say that they're unable to act on their own. So we have that person's best interest in mind. And with elderly abuse here in California, you would be amazed at what we see from a title standpoint. So our utmost protection is for that client. So again, of course, if you have, you know, someone that is overseas or in the military, things like that, we have a use for that. So definitely, you know, and if you have a certain circumstance, call me. You know, I don't have a problem. I've got Dave at home. I've got Audrey's cell phone. We can work it out. Another thing with power of attorneys, if you have a property that's being held in a trust, 99% of the time, you will not be able to use a power of attorney alongside the trust. The trust needs to allow for that. And typically in California, the forms don't usually allow for that power of attorney within the trust because the trust owns the property. That's the utmost protection. And again, if that person is incapacitated, then the successor trustees would come into play. So we just need to make sure that we are having the discussions. And when you are at that listing appointment, ask the questions. We never see your clients at title. We see the skeletons, which isn't always fun, but we never see your clients. Escrow sees your clients for notarizations, things like that, but we don't. So if you have a special circumstance, give me a call, let me know. Another thing with a power of attorney that we just saw on a potential transaction is we had, just to kind of see the big picture, we have a, how are we going to say this? We have like mom and dad on title, and Mom had passed away and we have dad. And then they wanted to use a power of attorney. Dad was fine. He was just a little bit older. Not, he was still of sound mind. Everything seemed to be fine. But Dad had wanted to give power of attorney to the son. So they wanted to go ahead and while Dad was still alive, they wanted to go ahead and deed the property from Dad to the children. So when you do have that and you're giving power of attorney to one of the children, and then you're doing the power of attorney on behalf of Dad, and the person that has the powers is included on that deed, that's considered self-serving. So in a perfect world, a world of unicorns and
I thought it was going into a trust then was.
no, it wasn't. It was
just
individuals. Mhm.
individual. Either way, it's self-serving.
Either way, it's self-serving. So what they should have done, instead of using the power of attorney, if Dad was of sound mind, Dad could have deeded it to the children without the power of attorney. And again, Dad, on his death certificate, he had nothing in the way of any kind of mental incapacitation. He didn't die having any kind of mental incapacitation. So, and it would have been the same for him to sign a power of attorney as it would for him to sign a deed. So that would have made perfect sense. But again, a lot of people think they're doing the right thing. So we would just want to make sure that, we're clear and, we know how that is all going to work out. Now, how many of you know there can be a reward on this one? How many of you know that a power of attorney dies with the person? Did anyone know that? Yes. So when that person passes, that power of attorney is no longer. So you want to make sure that we have the conversations, we get all of these things taken care of early on in the transaction. And again, even if it's not open and you have something, we've seen it all. Give me a call. We can go ahead and discuss and make sure that we have the best scenario for your clients. So again, that's one of the good things with being an old gal and title, 34 years. I'm starting to show my wisdom, I guess you can say, but we are here for you. If you have any questions or concerns, or if you're on the other side of the deal and you didn't get landwood, even if you have a question and it's not ours, give us a buzz and let us at least help. We're family. So I'm here to help you guys no matter what. So any questions?
Nope.
None.
The self-serving part was the part I didn't know about. So, and then of course the power of attorney as it relates to real estate has to be specific.
I have that. I have the forms here for you. We have special power of attorney is what we prefer for title purposes. So if it is another one, and if you have a deal and it's not even open yet, send us the power of attorney that you have. We'll get it approved ahead of time so you can check that off your list. Yeah. Same thing with the trust. If you have a trust and people have passed, send me the trust. We'll get it approved ahead of time and then you can mark it off of your list. We want to make sure if there's a trust and they both original trustees have passed, we want to make sure you're dealing with the right folks.
How much of the trust do you need to see?
So we would prefer to have the whole complete copy of the trust. This morning I met with an agent at 8 o'clock in Joe's office. They were not, and I could just picture it last night when I had talked to my agent. They were not relinquishing that binder to anyone. So I met with her this morning and I could just envision last night when I went to bed and it's like a seller with their trust. And I totally get it. That's personal. But when you put your property into the trust, if everyone's still alive, you're only going to need the trust certification. It's when people start to pass on, we need to make sure that you are dealing with the right folks. And when people die, weird things happen. It's
greed happens.
It is greed.
It's just greed.
You know, it's like, take me out of the trust. I don't want to deal with it while we're alive, but when you go, I really don't want to deal with it. So yeah, we do see a lot of things that do come out of the woodwork and we need to be concerned.
So if all the parties are alive.
Mhm.
we should be concerned.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And no mental incapacitations. So we're good. Perfect. I am
Alright.
here if you need me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Michelle. We appreciate you. All right, I'm just gonna wrap up with a couple of reminders. You guys saw that I sent out an email yesterday regarding the AR workshop. I wanted to share a little video with you. If this will run for me, maybe it will. My little thingy's in the way.
Shannon, I noticed on the email you said next week.
I know I did. I don't know what time of day it is. Most of the time I put the wrong dates on everything. So our AR workshop is on 9/29. That's in 2 weeks. Here's a little video about the AR workshop. All right, so thank you, Kelly, for sending that to us. I love that one photo of you, by the way. It just was a random,
Oh my gosh.
a,
Thank you.
a random
I
photo.
don't like it, but it's my favorite.
It is my favorite. Mine also. Let me stop sharing. I can't stop sharing. Hold on. I don't remember if I took it or who took it, but it was just random and you were reaching out and it was just a perfect photo. So you guys, I sent that out yesterday. If you want to go, is there a limit to how many people?
She said we could have up to 18 to 20.
18 to 20.
So we just have
That's,
to sign up ahead of time
Yeah.
because she cuts the wood, everything
Yeah.
in-house. So I would say about 20, as long as everyone is signed up 24 to even 48 hours.
like by
beforehand.
Monday
Yeah.
for a Wednesday.
I would say so.
Yeah, so Monday, the 20, what would that be, the 27th? If you're signed up by the 27th, you're in good shape. And you could bring snacks and drinks, whatever you like. That was a lot of fun last night. So I'm gonna go again, it'll be fun. So as far as meetings coming up, the Success Series is continuing through tomorrow with Rick. You'll see the link on the BAC. And then tomorrow with Chris, also virtual, he's doing the website next level. So it's not just the beginner, it's like, how do I add a blog and things like that. That's on my email I sent out, but I believe it starts at 1. And then followed by marketing your listings through the BAC. That's the Let's Get It Sold is what he calls it. Next week on Tuesday, I'm going to be out Monday and Tuesday, but just next week on Tuesday, Chris is going to be live in Lake Elsinore teaching on the basics of the BAC, getting your contacts in, and then campaign situations. And he's also available for one-on-ones. So if you want to do a one-on-one on something else, just
Very good. I've had.
yeah,
other
just
one-on-ones
reach
with
out
you.
to him on that. And then to save the dates. So in addition to the AR workshop on the 29th, our regional meeting that will be at the Association of Realtor this month is going to be a legislative update. You know, we have over 100 bills that have been sent to committee for review that relate to real estate. I felt like, and all of our management team felt like this was important for you guys to know what are these bills that are going into play. So we'll have an update and that will be at our normal time, 9:30, but at the board. We'll try to record it. Last time it
You
was
didn't give us the date.
9:29. Last time when we recorded it, I think it was mostly audio because I didn't change the screen. So I apologize if you watched the video. And then the other save the date is December 10th, our holiday party at Pechanga again. Woo! Yeah.
Thank God they saved our space from 2 years ago. So we got first in line and we got Friday this time. So better book your room too. Anyway, and then
Special pricing last year or no?
no, we just, everybody has a friend who's a gambler, not me. Find a gambler friend, they get free rooms. And then I just want to make an announcement for Gay. She has a client who has lots of boxes for anybody who needs boxes for their buyers. Just reach out to Gay and she'll connect you guys. How many they have?
About 80, and they're all flat, ready to go, just loaded into a
Perfect.
car.
Wow.
And they're new.
And they're out in Menifee though?
Yeah, it's off Holland Road and Menifee Road. That's where they live.
Okay, perfect. So if anybody has buyers that need boxes, or if you need boxes, anybody needs boxes, reach out to Gay. And that leads me to Joker Jackpot. I feel like I need some like theme music or something. All right, let me see, where's Shauna? Where's my assistant? I'm not gonna put my rear end to the camera anymore. I decided.
This is gonna back money, right? You need $1, correct?
$1 and a business card.
All right, for once I have $1. Maybe.
How much are we up to? You said 50 something.
It was 50, so now it's 55.
Okay,
Great.
we're gonna end on time, I promise. Thank you guys for coming. Eat all those carbs I brought for you.
I need to look, I need to look.
There's pumpkin stuff in there. Anybody else loves pumpkin like I do?
All right.
Okay, who's gonna be the drawer? Kirsten?
Okay.
Hey, you have
No,
to
I
be
told
present.
myself, that's not right.
It's okay, you can hold yourself. You weren't looking, we all watched you not look. Okay, now you get to draw a card and pray that it's a joker.
Yes.
To win the money.
Okay.
You gotta get a joker.
Now we'll say it's fixed.
I know.
You got it. It's a joker, man.
Joker,
Whatever.
7.
No, it was a 7. Okay, till next week. I would really love to play this with our whole regional. Dude, we'd have hundreds of dollars. Okay, that's my gambling side talking. Anyway, all right, you guys, anybody online have any announcements they want to make before I say goodbye? Okay, then. Everybody have a great week. Again, I'll be out Monday and Tuesday, but Shauna will be here to give you some assistance if you need it. Have a wonderful week.
Thank you.
Shannon.
Bye. Thank you.